Hello and welcome to the show. Today's rally car build is another quite highly requested one. The Ariel Nomad is going to tackle the course. Now this is a vehicle designed to be dealing with off-roading, so it should theoretically be pretty good at this. However, well, this is Horizon 3, so who knows quite how it is all going to work out. Now, we cannot have Forza Aero on the vehicle. Okay, we will put that on. It says non-adjustable. I'm hoping it gives me something. We could have a tyre on the back, or we could have a wing. Now, I'm going to go for the wing. I want the downforce that we can possibly get. That's going to save us some weight, apparently. Sure, now there should be some lights. There we go. We can have lights and an aerial for the full remote control car. Look on this. Wow, that's drops the PI down. There, it does add a chunk of weight on. Yeah, we're going with them parts on there. I'm going to come back to engines because I'm going to see how much PI we have to play around with by the time that I am finished. 255s all around on here is quite nice. Okay, we can do bugger all with a lot of this car. Didn't quite realise there was... yeah, not a huge amount to do really on these bits and pieces. Now I am assuming and hoping that we can get the V8 racing engine in here. We will, of course, make the vehicle all-wheel drive, as is the rules of this series. We'll chuck the weight up a little bit, but there we go. Now our engine options are the Turbo Rally engine, or indeed we can, thank God for that, get the V8 racing in here. In fact, the V8 racing considerably lighter than the standard engine. That is always nice, and that will jump our PI up, and we can put on a couple of turbochargers. So bear in mind the weight, okay? Bear in mind the weight of the Rolls-Royce that went out last time, okay? That was over 4,000 pounds. This is about 1,500 pounds and is probably going to have about the same power. That's why the Rolls-Royce struggled. As good handling as the Rolls-Royce was, yeah, it's going to struggle when up against something like this. When you've got something as, well, potentially, unless this drives awfully, which is a possibility, I think unlikely, because it's on terrain that it should like. But yeah, that is a lot of... a lot of difference in the power to weight ratio when you're looking at this vehicle. Now we are going to have almost a fully maxed out one of these, actually. 717 horsepower in here. That is a scary amount of horsepower in such a light vehicle. I mean, the Lotus, the 340R, that is a similar kind of similar-ish kind of weight. I think that was a bit heavier, but that had about 350 horsepower. Yeah, this is so much power. I'm hoping it can manage it. I'm hoping it is going to be controllable. I'm slightly scared that it might not be. We shall have to find out. I'm quite scared of this vehicle, I'll be honest. It is off to the Reservoir Trail with the Ariel Nomad, where I will be getting 3 runs through this course in an attempt to go quicker than the Plymouth Hemi Cuda. Our current leader's time of a 2:32.7 could potentially be under threat from the Nomad. I'm just looking at the speed we're getting down here. That's a lot of speed on the way into the first corner. However, it is also... it's not quite wheeling, but it is trying to lift the front up. Good God, I don't know what happened. Things have gone very badly wrong very early on with the Nomad. So all of this power and the suspension as it is causes some issues with the high-speed cornering, and that is a concern on a track that is pretty much all high-speed cornering. There are a couple of slower sections, but no real, tight hairpins to worry about down here. It is all high-speed stuff, and it's the vehicle is moving around so much on its suspension. That is what's causing the scary moments. Now, I suspect and hope that it'll be nice over the jumps if we can get it well turned through these corners. It's okay. No, we're fine again. We're fine through there. Ooh, more. The more twitchiness down there, we'll just roll along the wall and get away with that. Okay, this is not a particularly pleasant driving experience, I will be honest. My brain is really struggling to figure out what on earth is the best thing to do with the Nomad. I mean, it is so stupendously fast accelerating when things are going well. But they're going well so rarely around this lap. I'm really fighting the car. I think it's going to have to be, much as we did with the Ferrari, and I got a half-decent time at the Ferrari in the end, you have to be so cautious. The issue isn't that the car is so light and being thrown around, it is that the suspension is so soft. It's causing a lot of cornering issues when we're taking 150, 160 miles an hour into turns, and that's just, yeah, not really that ideal. So we're just going to have to be, I think, a little bit smoother, a bit less aggressive. Oh, we're struggling to get turned. Not sure I have the grip in this that I was quite expecting. I mean, here, are we nice? Yeah, we're relatively good across those bumps. Now we've got more bumps to contend with. Try to kind of keep it as straight as I can through that section. We're not going to be able to go flat out. Now we can probably get on the throttle, fly through the air nicely, and of course, decent landing. That's so much airtime. That's just so much airtime. I don't have time. I couldn't get that away. I could see the tree was coming, but we spent so long in the air that by the time we landed, there was nothing I could do about moving it out of the way. Oh, this is not particularly an enjoyable opening run. We are going to finish just under 3 minutes. I think there's more speed than we could possibly use in the Nomad. Because, yeah, that was an experience. So it is on to the second run for the Nomads. I think I've got to kind of, I say stop having the body move around so much. I can't do anything about the immense amount of body roll going on. I've just got to be slower in these corners. I mean, 160 miles an hour coming at turn 1 here. We can't take that speed. There's kind of the grip. Oh, good God, that's what caught me out last time as well. So when you go down that dip, I think the suspension bottoms out or runs out of travel as we hit the bridge, and that kind of throws the car completely and utterly off course. I mean, yeah, the acceleration is so incredibly fast in this, but I'm just constantly afraid of taking any corner speed, so we're going to be a little bit more careful this time out, not be so aggressive with the acceleration, and then kind of work our way around. Yeah, when you put 700 horsepower in something as light as this and then try and go off-road, it's always going to be difficult. I kind of can't decide whether it's made worse by having the soft suspension. Yes, it's good for cushioning the bumps. However, the other places around the lap where we've really got to be doing the turning, it's not quite so helpful. I might have missed that checkpoint. No, we did get away with that. That's always good. I'm not carrying the same speed over these jumps. I just daren't do it because we're going to end up out of control at the next corner. So try and make the most of the acceleration. A bit like some of the crazy autocross vehicles I built and drove at times. Make the most of where it's fast, but you're going to have to be careful through large sections of the course. Yeah, try and make the most of his acceleration when there is a nice straight bit of road, but you're not going to be able to always be making the most of the acceleration. That's a lot of airtime there. Right, please get turned through there. We are doing things better this time out. It's not as spectacular as some other cars that have gone, and I'm certainly having to brake and having to lift in places or where I didn't with the Hemi Cuda. Please get turned through there and then accelerate. Yeah, we can accelerate through the water as you would expect. Really, this is probably going to be one of the best cars in terms of accelerating through the water. It should be good at that. Now try and straighten it up all the way down here. Just can't go near the throttle, otherwise we're going to be in trouble. Across the first of the jumps is good, and the second one, this time aiming clear of the tree. Although I think I've been quite slow down this back straight indeed, just looking at the time. We are away off the front runners as we leave the final corner, accelerate towards the line. Okay, that was better, smoother, much neater run from me in all of that. I guess that's a good kind of a benchmark time. yeah, maybe a little bit more bravery needed, and then we can find some time. So it is on to the final run with the Ariel Nomad. I believe there is some time to be made up. The last run was me being quite cautious. The question is, where is the time going to be found? I'm not sure on the tarmac section is a particularly good idea. The suspension really not massively happy dealing with, it just can't carry any quarter speed. It kind of makes sense, you know, it's very much set up to be dealing with off-road, but yeah, it's not a huge fan of these tarmac corners. I think perhaps the bigger kind of issue with this is, yes, it's designed to go off-road, but it's probably not quite designed to be going as fast as this when dealing with these corners, and I just can't carry the corner speed. I suspect, much like with the Lotus 340R, a more technical circuit, a more technical rally stage with a lot of tighter turns would suit the Ariel much more, where it can really exploit its incredible acceleration. But around here, we've got a lot more medium, a lot more high-speed corners. It's all about keeping up your momentum between the turns, and that I can't quite do as well in the Nomad. I certainly don't quite have the confidence in this vehicle through places like this, where you could really fly your way through that section with the Plymouth, hell, even with the likes of the Subaru SVX and the Ford Ute. You can't do it in this car in the same manner. I really had to slow my way down on the landing of that jump as well, just to get the vehicle straightened up for the next corner. We're going to get a big flight over here. Okay, now slow it down, make the turn through here. Yeah, it's quite a bit of an animal, this car. The brakes are okay. I think I was going to say that they weren't the best, but I do think at times I'm just going so much faster into a turn than some of the other vehicles. It does seem to be a fair amount of understeer going on with this vehicle through a couple of places where I wasn't really expecting it. I was expecting this to be able to get turned very nicely on the dirt, but I'm not sure that that is quite such the case. Again, I have to have a big lift through there, just trying to gather everything back up again, ready to head towards these big jumps. We are across the first one nicely, and across the second one we go, up towards this final couple of turns. It's going to be, I think, about a similar time. It's actually a fair bit of oversteer out of the final corner. There we go. Across the line. We did run a tad wide into that final turn. There's just not the grip in this car that I was expecting it, even with it as all-wheel drive. It's just not the grip in the Nomad to carry the corner speeds. It certainly got the acceleration in bucket loads, but I can't take that speed through the corners. Yeah, that's not quite what I was expecting. Not quite what I was expecting from the Ariel Nomad, but there we go. The time will put the vehicle into 6th place. It is a 10th of a second down on the Opel Manta, about a second down on the Ford Pursuit Ute and the Subaru SVX, but quite some way off of the time set by the Hemi Cuda. It does, though, beat the Volvo 850R, the Rolls-Royce Wraith, and the Lotus 340R. So, yeah, not all bad. You gotta be quite careful with this Nomad. It just simply doesn't have the quarter speeds you would expect. And, you know, the cars that are built in this series, this doesn't turn as nicely as most of them. It makes up some of that lost time with its acceleration, yes, but it does not have a huge amount of quarter grip. But yeah, there we go. That was an experience trying to keep control of that. I'm hoping we shall indeed level up, which means we get a wheel spin where I will probably win nothing interesting, but you never know. So going to do it, and we're going to win nothing interesting. Sounds about right. That's going to be it, though, for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.